Hey, what's up, guys? This is a January 22nd recruiting weekend update and Gator football news. I want to talk about Corey Bell staying on staff. He was there with the last staff at Florida. This guy's a big time recruiter. He's going to be there as a quality control guy still. He's got South Florida connections, so that one's going to be big time with us, having inroads in South Florida. A running back that's on campus, Jordan James, calling for a flip. I think he's going to come to the good guys, to the Gators. He's currently a Georgia commit right now, ranked 152nd in the country, four-star running back. He kind of reminds me of Damian Pierce a little bit with his running style, but I think he'll be a big pickup. That'll put us at six backs on the roster if we add him, which is, some people think it's a lot, but I still think a couple guys are going to transfer after the spring. So we're going to need numbers at that position and depth. You're going to have injuries there. So it's important to have guys at the position like that. Um, Quite a few 2023 guys on campus right now. A guy I like early on is Carly Aiden. Uh, Visited this weekend. He's a wide receiver, legacy track guy. His parents ran track at Florida, so that's a guy we shouldn't have any problem landing. In the past, it's been a weakness of ours getting these legacy guys. The only one that comes to mind is Jonathan Odom. Not a big time prospect, but still on the roster. He's probably going to end up growing into an offensive tackle, or just a inline blocking tight end type guy. I don't ever see him being a receiver type tight end. Maybe in two tight end packages, he'll probably get in the game. But anyway, the loaded 23 guys are on campus. Bunch of those guys, bunch of four stars. I don't even think there is a 3-star 23 guy on campus this weekend. They're all blue chip prospects. There's a surprise visitor this weekend. I think he's a backup plan, 3-star guy. Doesn't have an offer yet. Out of Washington, 6'3", 270. Can't even say his last name. It's Savan or something like that. Anyway, defensive line guy, backup plan. I'm hoping we're not going to land him. I'd rather save the spots for next year than waste a spot on this guy. All the on-field staff has been hired, 10 of 10. We've got this one guy who's going to be the special teams coordinator, and they gave him some goofy name. Anyway, I think the name of the position for the special teams guy is like game changer coordinator or something. Sounds like something Butch Jones would say. So not a big fan if we're going to start making up these goofy cliche type names for our position coaches or specialty roles on the team. So hopefully that's not the norm. Um, Strength and conditioning review week 1 has started on the off-season workouts. These guys are doing more Olympic type lifts, like Muschamp used to do. That kind of spooks me a little bit. We had a lot of injuries during the Muschamp era. So hopefully the type of lifts they're doing are a little different than what they were doing back then. They're doing a lot of long distance type running, endurance type stuff instead of the short distance. I think they're doing a mix of both modern traditional type lifts and Olympic lifting. Again, I'm not a big fan of the Olympic stuff. That seems to cause a lot of injuries. So, we gotta take the good and the bad and have opinion about stuff. We can't just sugarcoat everything and act like everything's going to be perfect. There are going to be flaws, and there are going to be things we have negative views on about the program, and there's a lot of positives so far. I mean, if I'm being honest, I think I've only seen maybe two things following this new hire so far that I don't like, but everything else has been great. Um, Number one running back is on campus for 2023, Richard Young. Georgia's after him. All the big dogs are after him. Kirby Smart came to his high school on a helicopter, and then Napier followed up after that and showed up at his campus. So, again, we're going to be RBU, I think, instead of DBU at this point. So, Napier seems like he wants to stack elite running back after elite running back. So I think that's going to be the focal point of our team is the running game and our offense. So again, having the 23 number one guy being visited, that's good to see that trend continuing with the recruiting. Javon Baker was a transfer that we were hoping to get at Florida. He ended up going to Kentucky. He was an Alabama transfer that we were after. Not a big loss. He never had any production at Bama. Another interesting thing we had at Florida was a preferred walk-on We had a tryout, which is kind of weird, but I think we're just lacking bodies on the practice squad on the scout team. So it's kind of cool that they did something like that. Another thing that I'm loving so far right now is the offensive line recruiting with Darnell Stapleton and Sale with the Giants. Um, Recruiting at the offensive line's been light years ahead of where it was before with these 2023 guys. I've got two four-star offensive tackles on campus. You got Clay Whedon. He's on campus this weekend. The combo of those two guys teaming up on the recruiting, I think, is going to pay huge dividends. No more, no more angry, heavy running around screaming at guys. You know, this old school 1950 football type stuff. That coaching style works for a few guys, but for the majority nowadays, it doesn't fly. Weekend list for the 20th through the 22nd is Livingston. He's a current commit. Shamar James is on campus. One thing of note with Shamar James is I've heard he's had some grade issues and may not make it in this class. I'm hoping they find a way to get him qualified because that'd be a huge loss. And that was a recurring theme under Mullen that I don't want to see continue, just to take guys based on ranking. So I'm hoping he does get in, but right now it's kind of sketchy about the grades. They're not sure if he's going to qualify. Kicker Trey Smack is on campus this weekend. So good deal. We got some guys committed helping us recruit these guys. Savania, the defensive lineman, I told you, the low ranked 3-star. He's a backup plan. He does not have an offer. He is on campus. Again, that one was a surprise. His ranking's at 8627, 247 Sports. There's another backup plan that does not have an offer, defensive line. Again, I like these guys are keeping their options open and do have backup plans. Mullen never had a backup plan. He'd have his guy, and if he lost out on him, we just swung and missed. Didn't have anybody to fall back on. So this is smart, actually. It's a good strategy to have this, to have these guys in the fold, because you still got to have your numbers. You got an 85-man scholarship roster. You got to fill those scholarships. It's just plain and simple. His name's Jason Jenkins. Again, another low-rated 3-star guy. Max Brown, quarterback, committed to CMU. McElwain coaches there. He's committed to them. I said I wasn't excited about him. He's a 3-star. He's at 8-1, so just barely. 3-star ranking start at 8-0, up to an 8-8 on the composite, and he is an 8-1. He has no offer yet. He is a backup plan. Actually, he's the only plan. I don't think they even have a number one guy. They're just bringing him on campus to see him physically. I think they want to see him work out possibly. I did watch his huddle film, and he actually looked really good. The ball popped off his hand better than I thought. He's got some wiggle, escapability from the pocket, so the guy can move around, which is pretty cool. I don't know what his competition's like, but his highlight films looked awesome. Which, I mean, I know all these kids look good on their highlight film, but to me, I've seen a lot of guys play a lot of high school ball, and I mean, I thought he looked great. So, top 50, the cream of the crop, the number one guy on campus we're after this weekend. Top 50 safety, Jacoby Matthews. That's our guy. That's the one we're wanting to land right there. He's a 5-star. Again, I'm hoping we'll get him in the fold. I do think he does come to Florida. That's another one I'm predicting that we land in the mock class. So again, the next video I make, I'm going to try to put out a mock class for y'all. The guys I think we're going to land before signing day, and we'll see where we fall. Again, I hope you guys will like the channel and subscribe. I'm sorry it's a short video. I just want to give y'all an update.